So today our topic of discussion is MySQL group by clause. The group by clause in MySQL is used to arrange identical data into groups. Like first of all, we will have a basic understanding of what we are saying here. So we will open MySQL workbench, and in MySQL workbench we will connect with the Northwind database that we have. So this is the Northwind database, and in Northwind database, we are connected using MySQL Workbench. You can see in the Northwind database, we have categories, customers, employees, and different type of tables. So we will create a new query. So we'll press Control N. So when you will press Control N, you can see it will create a new model for you. For new query, you have to click here. Okay. So this is new query. And here, for example, if we are selecting select star from, and let's say customers. So I have some keyboard issue today. So select star from customers. If you will do that and execute, so you will see all the customers name will appear here. Now what is meaning of group by? So you can see, if we see data like city, or if we see data like contact title, so you can see in these columns there are many accounting managers, many uh, assistant, sales agent, marketing assistant. So whenever we get a data, then these columns are either categorical or these columns are numerical. For example, if we run a query select star from products, okay, if we run this simple query, so you will see that in this case also product name and category ID and supplier ID, these are common for many different products. So if we simply click on category ID, so you will see now we are seeing that many products have category ID 1, many products have category ID 2, 3, and so on. So by grouping we mean to group that data by a value that is there, that is given in that particular column. So for example, we know that many people may be from the same city, for example Sao Paulo, or there are many cities like Rio de Janeiro or Portland where we have many customers. So if we want to find out something like how many customers are there per city, so a very simple question will be how many customers are there per city. So this is a simple question that is giving us a simple indication that here city is a column, and city wise we have to answer some questions. Like city wise we have to answer as an aggregate value. So its answer will be something like this. Let's say Achin is a city. In that city we have 3 customers. Let's say London is a city. In that city we have 6 customers. So its answer will come like this. So basically you will select one categorical column or one categorical field and other aggregate numerical field. So that aggregate field is the most important thing. Aggregate numerical field. What is meant by aggregate? So whenever we are dealing with MySQL, so sum, count, average, max, and min, these are called aggregate functions. Aggregate functions return a single answer as a data. On the other hand, other SQL queries return multiple answers. For example, if I select minimum unit price from products. So here we are not selecting a star, we are not selecting any column, we are selecting with the help of a function. We are writing a function as minimum unit price from products. And if we will do that and run this query, so you can see the answer that it is returning is a single value answer 2.5, and whatever we wrote in select, whatever we wrote here, so it is returning that answer, minimum unit price. If similarly, instead of minimum, if I select maximum, then that particular function maximum will also return a single value. Can we write both of them together? Like we can see maximum price is 263.5 and minimum price is 2.5. So if I select this and just paste it here, to select minimum unit price comma maximum unit price from products, if we execute this, so you can see in one answer it is giving both values. Similarly, if I just copy it and write minimum maximum, and if I write AVG, which stands for average, then instead of max, if I write STD, so STD is standard deviation. Let's do these things. So once you will run that, you will see that it is showing us minimum unit price, maximum all together. Okay, and similarly there are many other aggregate functions. For example, one very important aggregate function is count. So count is, we are counting unit price. So basically this will give us total number of rows. We have around 71 products, I guess. So if you run this, so sorry, 78, so it is giving us 78 as the answer of count. So this particular expression that we are seeing here, let me zoom it for you. These are all aggregate functions. Okay, this is a simple way to write aggregate functions. Some aggregate functions like average, count, or average, let's talk about average or standard deviation. These will work only on numerical values. Okay, we have some more here. For example, let's say as there is count, there is one more that is called sum. So sum will do, sum is just like summing all the values in that particular column. I'm sorry, my keyboard is not working today properly. So this will also give us the same answer. So if I just write it here, okay, so we are writing minimum, maximum, average, standard deviation, count, sum from products. I will select all of it and you can see. So this is something that you can do in SQL easily. Now when we are giving these answers, you can see what MySQL is printing here. So whatever we wrote here as a function, it is giving that same answer. So how can we change the answer heading accordingly? So if we write select minimum unit price as, so as is called alias or LIS, like it's another name. Okay, so select minimum unit price as min price, or you can write anything. For example, lowest price. maximum unit price as, and this is not case sensitive, so maximum unit price as highest price. Okay, you can write it like this. So what this as means, that this particular expression that we are evaluating will now be represented as this header. So if we simply copy it and put it here, so you can see we have written as in only two of them. So if we will select this and run, so you will see now it is not giving that answer as min unit price, it is giving that answer as lowest price. So these are the aggregate functions. Now what if we see a product, okay, or what if we see customers table, and in this customers table you can see we have country. So if we write something like this, see, it is very important, select distinct country from customers. So we are writing select distinct country from customers. Earlier, so I will just write two SQL commands here and show you the difference between them. So in one command I am just writing select country from customers and see the answer. So when I am writing select country from customers, you can see the number of rows we are getting, okay, and here you can see how many total rows we are getting, and you can see the name Mexico two times. You can see, and if I arrange it, we can see Argentina three times, Austria two times, Belgium two times, Brazil is, let's say, 6-7 times, Canada three. So what is happening, every time we are seeing, this means that there are three customers in Argentina, and that's why we are seeing the country name three times. So if we select customer name and country, if we select, okay, actually customer name is given as contact name here. So if we select contact name comma country from customers, so if we select this, then what will happen, you will be seeing this. So here you can see in Argentina actually there are three customers, that's why we are seeing this. Similarly in Brazil, Canada, so you can see for every country we actually have multiple number of customers. But if we write select distinct country from customers, if we are selecting this column, then you can see Argentina is only appearing one time, but let's execute both of them together. So you can see here Argentina appears three times, but when we are writing distinct, that means in case of distinct it is appearing only one time. So this is the meaning of distinct. Distinct gives you unique number of values. Okay, remember this, unique values only. It will give you only unique values, and if you will write without distinct, then you will actually get n number of values whatever they are, if even if they are repeated. So what if we write distinct country and comma contact name? So if you will write that, you will see actually it is returning again the same result, like it is not giving you only distinct country. What is the problem here? The problem is that Argentina wise there are actually three contact names. So SQL cannot distinct that, right? SQL cannot make it unique because there are three people, and that's why these aggregate functions are very important. So if we select only distinct records, if we only select Argentina one time, Then what can we get? We can get count of contact names. Can't we write that? So if we are writing contact name, so let's copy this query, and if I write select country, comma, count of contact name from customers. Okay, so here the query is a little bit different from what it was on line number 12, and here we are actually using one categorical column. By categorical we mean something that has repeated values. So let's look at our data set here. Here you can see we have order date, ship date, and for every order that we have received, we have a shipping mode. So you can see if I select this, so you will be able to see that there are actually 10,195 rows here. 10,195 rows. And these 10,195 rows have how many distinct shipping modes? These have only 4 distinct shipping modes. So even though total number of orders are more than 10,000, we only have 4 shipping modes. Similarly, if we go to segment, then we only have 3 customer segments: consumer, corporate, home office. If we go to city, city will also not be 10,000. State or province, 49, 50 are there in USA. In this data set we have only 49 of USA. Region, only 4. So what it means is these are all categorical columns, and these have nominal values, like these have only 4 or 5 different values, or 4 or 5 unique values, and on the basis of those 4 or 5 unique values, you can see here that we have to count sales, we have to count quantity, we have to count discount. So that's why if we are in SQL, or sorry, if we are in Excel, we select this, we go to insert, we go to pivot table from our selected table, and we say create pivot table in new sheet. Then here if we will select segment and if we will select sales, so it will give us an answer like this. This is the result of group by. We have actually grouped by segment. So whatever segments we have, like for all 10,000 rows, we only had 3 segments. Okay, there may be some additional blank here, so we are not worrying about it. So I cannot delete because it is actually there in data. But you can see similarly, if instead of segment, if I select city, so you will see that for every city it is showing sum of sales. Okay, so this is in Excel, and the same thing can be done in SQL also. So that's what we are doing. So if we are writing select country, comma, count of contact name from customers, so we are basically saying give us one categorical field and one aggregate numerical field from the table. And if you will run this, so now you will actually see a nice error, and let's see why. So you can see that in an aggregated query, let me highlight this query for you. So this is actually giving us an error, and that error is that when you are writing an aggregated query with some column and we are not using group by, so you will not be able to get that answer. So that's why in SQL, to correct this, you will write one non-aggregate like country, city, contact name, contact title. It can be any of these things, any of these. Count contact name from customers. Then finally you will write, so select from customers and then you will write group by, and in group by you will write this name, whatever you want to group the data by. Like for example, here your group by columns will be segment, city, shipping mode. You can write region, state, province. So these are group by columns. And if we will just run this query now, so now you will get an answer where this country name, you can see, is coming only one times. Okay, one time. And on its right hand side we are seeing a number, and that number is basically count. So if you want to sort it on the basis of this number, you can click here. You can see that in USA we have most number of customers. So let's take one very simple example. Okay, let's say in your high school or intermediate or in any class, let's say there were 5 subjects. Okay, my stupid keyboard. So let's say you have 5 subjects, like let's say you have science, English, Hindi, maths, or whatever. Okay, so science, English, Hindi, maths, and computer. Let's say you had these subjects. So in science you got, let's say, 80, English you got 85, Hindi you got 90, maths you got 95, and computer you got 90. So what is your percentage? Isn't it the same data like this? It is saying that in central you got this, in east you got this, so something like that. So in now what is on the basis of this, when someone calculates your percentage, what is your percentage? Considering that these marks are all out of 100, you will basically add them and you will
Computer
add
के
them,
divide कर देंगे.
exactly, you will add them and divide by 5, right? So you can do that. So that is the aggregate value, right? When we calculate the percentage, it's not like in every, suppose I'm just giving an example, let's say the percentage is around 90, I'm just giving. So it's not like that in every subject you have scored 90, right? It's like this is your percentage of marks. In some subjects you may have scored less, in some subject you may have scored more, and on an average or as an aggregate value you have got this. So this is what happens, right? So similarly here also, in central region people are buying products, sometimes that sales value is 16. So if we filter it for one state, let's say we filter it for California, so you can see in California every order is not of same value, is it? Some orders are very low as $19, or some orders are very high as $1,300. So but when we, what kind of questions can be answered, like state wise what is total sales? So when you will ask a state wise total sales, how will you answer that? So you will just go here, insert pivot. I'm not teaching Excel right now, but let's say we just go to pivot, and in pivot you will select state or province name, and here you will select sales. This will give you state wise sales. Okay, and if you will now see, you will see in California you have actually got this much sales. Now you can also select state wise total profit. So it is showing state wise sales and profit. And what is the benefit of it? You can go to insert and you can actually create some kind of chart, not this one. You can actually create a clustered chart like this. Okay, so this clustered chart is actually showing you name of every state and its sales value. So this, whatever this pivot thing is doing in Excel, same thing we can do using SQL's group by. That's what we are doing. So let's consider another table. So the other table that we have is products table, right? So in products table, if we write select maximum unit price from products, we are actually selecting an aggregate value. Now in products table, we have category ID. Even though that category ID is a number, but it belongs to a category, right? So if you will write select category ID from products, so what will you get? You will get all the category IDs like 112228. Now if you write comma sum of unit price, so here we are writing sum of unit price. Okay, so now what we are saying is that group the category ID, yani write the category ID only one time, and you can see this category ID 1 is being repeated a number of times. So, and this means this category actually has these many products. So now we are saying select category ID only one time and sum all the unit prices that are there in that category ID from products. When you will do that, you will see a good error. Why? Because here also we have selected one non-aggregate and one aggregate, and error will be same. In aggregated query, this text may be too small, but I am reading that. In aggregated query without group by expression, you cannot do. So what you will do is select this, and finally you will write group by. Now my question to both of you: what column will go in group by? In the previous example, we selected country as group by. Here, what will go as group by?
Category, sir.
Category ID, right? So
Yes, sir.
whatever is non-aggregate, we will put that in group by. And when you will do that, now you will get only 8 rows. Why are we getting 8 rows only? Why? Because if you will select a star from categories, right? So if you will select a star from categories, so let's run both of them together. So if you will, I think, okay, I have, yeah, that's it. So if you will run both of them together, so you can see in categories we only have 8 products. Okay, that's why for every product we are seeing this. When you will learn join, I haven't taught you join yet. So then actually you will be able to show that name also. Like that category ID 1 belongs to beverages, 2 belongs to condiment, 3 belong to confections. Okay. So you will be able to show that name also. So that's why we will learn join, but it will happen like this. So select, okay, you will write select categories, like from categories we are selecting category name, and then we are doing sum of products dot unit price. So we are now joining two tables. One is categories, one is products. And you will write from products. If we are writing from products, then we will join categories, because without joining it will not happen. And group by categories dot category name. So let's try whether it will be correct or not. So here you can see. Now what problem are we having? That it is showing the same thing. Okay. So that's why And why this? Because we haven't told where are we actually joining these two tables. So you will see, say on, that in products there is a column called product ID. Oh, sorry, in product there is a column called category ID is same as categories dot category ID. Now you have told that these two columns are same, and now you will see, let's see some kind of spelling mistake. Let me check. So now you are getting the answer. This is something that we will learn in next chapter. Don't worry about it if you are not getting it, because we will not straight away jump to mixing, join and that. But I was just giving you an example that this is not the actual answer that we are going to give. Right now the actual answer that we are going to give is select category ID comma sum of unit price from products group by category ID. So this way you will get that. Let's go to orders table. So, and I will save this as 11 July. So if we write select star from, and here we are writing orders. If we write select star from orders, so you have this data. Now you can see that every customer is ordering something, and you can see if I just click on customer, so this particular customer Anator has ordered 4 or 5 times, and Ton has ordered 6 or 7 times. So now this is my question to you guys who are in the class right now. Customer ID wise, number of orders. Can you tell how can we calculate that? First of all, are you getting the question? You have to tell that, you have to give answer like alpha 3 orders, Anator 4 orders or 5 orders, something like that. So how will you write? You will write select, बताओ,
customer ID.
select customer ID,
So,
comma what?
so count.
Count. And in
order ID.
exactly, in count we write something that is, you know, aggregate, that is unique if we actually have, because here we know that order ID is unique value, right?
Yes, order ID.
So we will write order ID, and again I am saying it is not case sensitive, so I am just writing it in this case. So we are writing customer ID comma count order ID. Is there anything else that we have to select?
So, from orders.
Okay, from orders.
So, group by customer ID.
Exactly, group by customer ID, because we group by something that is not written as an aggregate, right? So group by customer ID. So here you will write that, and you can see alpha, Anator, etc. Now if I simply ask you, whoever has ordered more, I want that person's name on top, and so basically you have to order it in descending order. So you will write order by. Now what will be write in order by here? Customer ID. If we'll order by customer ID, it will give in the same order. So that's why we will select this entire thing. Order by count of customer ID descending. Later you can give it some other name, like count order ID is not looking good, right? You can say it is customer ID comma number of orders, something like that, which is meaningful. So we are selecting it as, okay. So, and if we are writing number of orders, so we can write it like this as well, that we are writing it as number of orders. If we are giving a space in the name, then we have to enclose it inside the inverted comma, the left inverted comma. Now you can see that this particular customer, Sevilla, whatever this person's name is, has ordered most number of times, 31 times, then Earnish, then Quick, and so on. So these are the queries that is for MySQL, and this is for order by. And even though if you are in SQL or whatever, so let's say if, instead of this, if I select subcategory, okay, then here also you are seeing same thing. So it's like we have done count of order ID. So suppose we are doing the same thing in this. So select sum of unit price. So you can also write maximum unit price here. Are you getting my point? Maximum unit price, or you can also write sum of, it also has one more column called units in stock. So units in stock, okay. So it will give you this answer also. So isn't it just like this? You are selecting sum of sales comma sum of profit and grouping by, what are you grouping by? Here you are grouping by subcategory, there you are grouping by customer ID, right? But if you compare them side by side, you will be able to understand that it is something that is similar. So here we are just doing it with the help of a pivot table. Here we are writing a SQL query. So in SQL query, you select one particular column and you write your aggregate measure. You can also write 2, 3, 4, n number of aggregate measures, but you cannot select any other column. Let's say you want to show product name, you cannot do that. You cannot do that. You cannot show product name here. Why? Because with one non-aggregate and all other aggregates, okay, you cannot write a product name because it's non-aggregate. So if you'll do this, it will show us error that expression number 2 select list is not in group by clause, because you have not grouped by product name, okay, you have only grouped by product ID. So how to do that, how to deal with that is something that we will discuss, but this is very very important for you to understand, okay. So here concluding, so select column name, whatever column you have, comma aggregate function and column name from table name, and then don't forget to write group by. So in Northwind you can take orders, order detail, product and customers. So select customer ID comma count of order ID as total orders. This is something that we have done. From orders group by customer ID. So it will give you answer like this. Explanation is count of order ID, count total number of orders for each customer ID, and group by column groups the order by customer. Similarly, we can also show total revenue by product. So here what we are doing, we are selecting product ID and sum of unit price into quantity. So what is happening? Actually total revenue is given by unit price into quantity. Okay. So every product has some unit price, but every product has different quantities. So you can test that. So if you will do that, so you will get answer like for product ID 1 we have this, for product ID 2 we have this. Here you can select product name also, that product name wise what is total revenue, number of orders per country. This is another way of writing the query, where you can see we are calling customer table as C and we are joining this. So when I will teach you join, then I will discuss this one. Okay, you can do this also, average order value by employee. So select employee ID, because here if you will see that in select star from orders, let's do that. So here you will see every employee has received that order. Okay, and since every employee has received that order, so what is the average order value? So you can do that, what is the average order value of freight, you can do that. So later when we will learn joins, then we will be able to answer these questions in a more meaningful way. So from GitHub I actually got this file also, where we have 50 dedicated questions on this. In some questions you can see, for example, this group by. Okay, group by. So in our next class we will not only discuss more usage of group by, but we will also discuss usage of group by along with having clause. Okay, and particularly what is the difference between having clause and where clause. So here we have group by, here we have having clause, so we'll discuss this, right? So I will give it to you, you can go there and you can see in this case also group by is also there and having is also there. So having is like where for normal queries, so I will explain it to you. So till then revise this much and practice this much, and if you have any questions we will discuss in the next class.